we have to talk about the obvious. We know the Bears lost to the Packers, and I'm elated. I am. I can't say I was happy. I wasn't happy seeing Caleb end the game on an INT. I was cool. I was cool with that. But we have to give some flowers. Jordan Love was pretty excellent. He was amazing, I'd argue. He had that INT, got it out the way, but after that, he was dialed in. And Joel, I've been saying this for how long? Your number one option was a guy who was just unfortunately always injured. Christian Watson. I feel like this was his breakout game to the NFL community, putting a stamp on him by far and away being their wide receiver one, the best option for them. And that includes Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a playmaker, a difference maker for the Green Bay Packers, but he hasn't been that same player we saw last year. Christian Watson, when he's been on the field, it's been a drastic difference for their offense. And Jordan Love against the Bears, which I expected. The Bears defense is sweet. But Jordan Love went out there and he had to execute, and he 1,000% did.
Jordan Love is playing himself into the MVP conversation.
Okay.
He's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There are 3 quarterbacks that stand out to me that have been in the conversation all year long. It's Matthew Stafford, Drake May, Dak Prescott. Jordan Love is right there.
Josh Allen.
He's playing, Josh Allen too. Jordan Love is playing as well as any quarterback in the NFL right now. You mentioned Christian Watson, and since Christian Watson has been back week 8, the Packers are number 1 in dropback EPA per play. They are the most efficient passing offense, but really over the last 2 weeks, when Matt LaFleur has been more aggressive as a passing attack, we've seen the throws that Love has been making down the field. Watson has been a recipient of multiple of them. 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. The bomb against Detroit was ridiculous. The across the field pass on a crosser for a touchdown to Watson was
Christian
ridiculous.
Yep.
And then the slant also where Jordan Love checked into the right play, and then it was a fake screen and Watson just beat the corner and then just housed it.
Yep.
He is the game breaker. And the fact that the Packers are this efficient offensively after losing an all-pro tight end speaks volumes to the impact that Christian Watson has been able to make. It actually makes me feel sad that if they had Tucker Kraft, this would be like
scary.
This would be like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't even know how you stop them, but they have enough. The offensive line's playing better. The Russian attack, I feel like now is playing off the pass game rather than the other way around, where I feel like early in the season, it was very much like that. And Micah Parsons is every bit the game changer that we thought he'd be.
100%.
He completely wrecked the game against Chicago, one of the best offensive lines in football, and he dominated it. Matt LaFleur, in 7 seasons, he has the most wins by a head coach in NFL history. This year is going to be the first year that Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers win the NFC North, and they win their first division title together because they're that good. And they're every bit a Super Bowl contender as we thought they were to begin the year.
You know, Jordan Love has one bad trait, I think. And him and Tua have the similar trait.
Oh, please don't disrespect Jay Love.
Oh my God. Just humor me. Their turnovers are always terrible. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Jordan Love has 3 interceptions on the year, 4 interceptions. It's very minimal. But whenever he has them, it just always feels like it's just like he throws it right to a dude. But jokes aside, this offense is great when it's moving. And I always turned my head when after the Eagles game, people were calling for Matt LaFleur's job. And I'm like, listen, man, I get it as a Packers fan because they've been a pinnacle of success for my entire life, basically for going on 30 years at this point. They're consistently, in conference championships, Super Bowls, all of this, MVP quarterbacks. And the fact that they haven't had a Super Bowl in a while, they haven't been to the Super Bowl. I understand people get frustrated and fed up. Matt LaFleur is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. Like, point blank period. He's a young, offensive-minded guy, forward-thinking. Does he have moments that piss me off? Does he have moments that I'm like, I would do things differently? Sure. But I mean, how many coaches, don't piss you off, right? Like maybe Sean McVay. Maybe that's like the only one that is always perfect.
Fair play.
But even still, 99% of coaches, they're going to do something that pisses you off. But LaFleur has shown to have such a solid baseline floor of your double-digit wins, you're going to compete for the division, and a ceiling of, when Aaron Rodgers is playing well, people thought he was washed. He won back-to-back MVPs. Jordan Love hits the gates running. His rookie, I guess he a little slow his rookie season, but second half he was fantastic and ended the season awesome. And we all looked at him like that's a franchise quarterback. So the LaFleur stuff always made me scratch my head, but he's awesome. Jordan Love has been playing out of his mind. The Toyotathon stuff is hilarious, but it's true. As the season progresses, he gets better and better. And I think when you have a quarterback, especially a quarterback to be playing in Green Bay, that's what you want. Someone that as the season goes on, he's going to perform up to par. But yeah, I was thinking about that actually, I think a week or two ago with Chelsea. I was like, one thing that people don't talk enough about, Tucker Kraft, man. Tucker Kraft was like, he's one of my favorite players. And when he went down, I was so sad. And then everyone kind of stopped talking about it, and the Packers start to struggle. And I'm like, damn, man, I wish Tucker Kraft was here, because he's a difference maker. And Christian Watson's showing that he's a difference maker too. As long as he stays healthy, this offense should keep going. Jaden Reed got back yesterday too. He's someone that can be an explosive player. And Josh Jacobs, I know that stat-wise, it's kind of what he's been doing, but I thought just eye test-wise, he looked really explosive. Had that big third or fourth down run.
That was the
last drive where he looked explosive. He got off the ball quick, made a guy miss. He had there was 2 or 3 bears. He was great in that game. And the defense is continuing to show up week in and week out. So the Packers we talked about at the beginning of the show, these seasons within seasons, the Packers are kind of like that, right? Where you trade for Micah Parsons, there's all this hype in the beginning of the year. You start off a little slow, right? You have that tie against the Packers, the tie against the Cowboys, loss against the Browns, and as the season's gone on, you've had some great wins, but then you also had the loss to the Eagles and the Panthers. But now you sit up here, they're 9-3-1. My bad. They're coming off a win against the Chicago Bears. I wouldn't say a handed win, but this is really good Chicago Bears team who had been rolling, and they took care of business at home. So, yeah, I look at the Packers, and to me, they're not quite the Rams, right? I think the Rams are still the top of the NFC, but they're right there with the Seahawks in terms of that team that's going to challenge the Rams and really push them to the brink because, like you said earlier in the show, top 10 offense, top 10 defense, superstar quarterback, a head coach that I trust, a run game that I trust. There's not a lot of questions for them. It's just, once the playoffs come along, can you execute?
Yeah, you look at his numbers. He's completing 67% of his passes, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on a year. He got labeled the turnover prone quarterback because his interceptions are bad. But the Packers are one of the most safe teams in the league in terms of not letting the ball go. They have the fewest takeaways in the NFL. They're towards the bottom of the league. 105.4 passer rating, second in QBR, fourth in total EPA per play. Jordan Love has been flat out amazing. I feel like last year, he was really good. I don't think he got enough credit for his season last year, but I think this year, he has really ascended into an elite level where I think it's pretty obvious. And 3 straight years as a starter where the floor for him is 4,000 yards passing, 25 plus passing touchdowns, and 10 interceptions or less. That's basically what we're seeing now with 3 straight years of a 100 plus passer rating. And I love Christian Watson. He's ascending now, but for the most part, not having an elite alpha number 1 wide receiver. No. So I feel like for him to be this consistent and this great, Jordan Love is an elevator. And that's why I was kind of annoyed with Matt LaFleur early in the season when he didn't exactly let him loose, because I think Jordan Love, he's your best player. He's your elevator. He makes everybody around him better. And how he manages pressure, I think, is up there with anybody.
Easily.
Against the blitz, against Chicago, he was ridiculous.
Unbelievably great.
Yeah, you look at the numbers against the blitz.
Every time they were blitzing, he was positive plays.
Against the blitz, I think he had 1 touchdown, and he was 7 for 11 against the blitz, if I'm not mistaken. But that's how good he was. And he's one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz, so it's hard to blitz them. They don't get blitzed all that much because of that very reason. He manages pressure well. He doesn't take sacks. He doesn't fumble. He doesn't turn over the ball. And now, Riv, I know that, the Packers have, you've been on the other side of the Packers recently, but what have they shown you over the last couple of weeks, beating the Vikings, the Lions, and now the Bears, and beating all teams in their division? You feel like this is one of the best teams in the NFC?
Sure. Get your mic, bro.
Oh, shit. Sure.
Where would you rank them right now at the top of the NFC?
Don't have a ranking. I know what you're trying to do. I don't have a ranking.
No, I'm asking you because they've been great. I think it's them and the Rams, and you have to give some respect to the 2 world champions, right? But, Christian Watson didn't play in that playoff game.
He didn't play.
He hasn't played against us. I don't know. I don't think maybe Brazil. That was the last time he played.
Right?
I think that was the last time he played against us.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, hated that field.
We both did. We both did. Yeah. Packers are great. Jordan Love's awesome.
Yeah.
He's in my top 10.
He was in your top 10. He was in somebody else's.
Nope.
If you wanted me to do what you did, I can't do
Jordan
that.
Love would move from 11 to probably like 8 for me.
That's valid. Jordan Love was like 8-9 for me.
Jordan Love is number one for me.
Over
Respect that.
Mahomes?
Over anybody.